Today we're gonna dive into Figma, so if you're interested in learning Figma for designing websites, but you don't have a lot of experience in the tool yet, then this video is for you, because I've made sure that we're gonna use the most important features in Figma in order to create this design. And the project that we're gonna create together is this simple homepage for a gym. It has a big background image with a transparent header and an overlapping icon row, a text section with an image on the side, and a simple footer with social media icons. And all you need to do is make sure you have a Figma account, which is free to do. Just click over here, make an account, then go to your drafts, click on new design file, and from here on I'm gonna give you all the images, the colors, and everything you need to recreate the design. And after that, feel free to use it in your portfolio, just change up the design a little bit and then it's fine. So how Figma essentially works is that everything is in a horizontal box or a vertical box, as you can see right here. And this is basically how the web actually works. So designing in Figma will make you understand the web even better. So now let's just get started. The first step is the structure of the layout. So look at this design, it has three sections. This first one, then the text section, and then the footer. And it's better to first create those three sections so that you're not gonna focus on the details too soon, because that's what designers like to do, but it slows down your progress. So let's just do that. So in your new file, we first need to create an artboard. So before we can start adding text and colors, we first need a frame. And frame is kind of like a page. So you do that by creating a frame over here. So if you click on the frame, then on the right over here, you can see a lot of options. And the one I always start out with is desktop. So click on the desktop, that's 1440 pixels in width. And like I said, let's first create our three main sections. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over here, grab the rectangle, and then create a shape like this. Then you can drag the edges and make sure it aligns to the top. Then we have an empty space over here. And then we have a footer at the bottom. So we can create another shape from here, but it's easier to make a duplicate of this one. So hold Alt or Option, and then click and drag, and then it will make a duplicate. Now you want to align it exactly in the middle. So here we're going to use our Align option, which is a lot nicer than just trying to make it fit in. So just click on Middle Align, and then over here to the bottom, because that's what we want. And now we only have to drag this part down, and it's still perfectly aligned. But our design is a little bit short. So if you grab your artboard or frame over here, you can make the whole artboard a bit longer. You can, by the way, zoom out by holding Command or Control. It's Alt or Control on Windows, I'm not really sure. And then just drag it down. Or you can simply change the number over here. I'm gonna change it to 1700s, like this. Okay, so now we can put the footer again at the bottom with this tool and make it a little bit higher. And for our top part, we also gonna make it a little bit higher. We will do this overlapping part later because that's a little bit harder. But for now, let's just create the shape for our image. So now I'm gonna grab a new rectangle like this. You can also access that by clicking on the R and then create a rectangle like this. All right, but now where do we actually align it? That's a problem. So now we need to dive into the grids. So as you probably have noticed, all websites are based on a grid. And some websites scale this grid, but most websites keep the content in a specific pixel width, because otherwise the text boxes become too wide and it's not comfortable to read. And we need this grid to align our image. So let's just do that. I'm gonna click on my artboard over here, and then over here you can see layout grids. You can click on the plus over here. It creates a standard grid, but that is a horizontal and vertical grid. So click on this one over here. Click on columns, because we just want 12 columns. 12 is the industry standard because you can easily create 2 boxes, 3 and 4 and 6, which is kind of nice. So we're gonna use 12 columns. It doesn't do anything, but you need to click outside of it to see the changes. Put it on center because now it stretches. Sometimes you want that, but for this design I don't want that. So click on center, but then you need to tell Figma how wide each column should be. And a common use size for this is 75. Why? Well, because then from here to here, it's 1120 pixels, which is used in many builder tools like Elementor. So as you can see, whoa, whoa, I aligned it almost perfectly, 1 pixel, which is a coincidence. So that's kind of funny. So I'm gonna align that to the grid, and I'm also gonna make it a little bit wider like this, because I want it to stretch over 6 columns like this. And if you do that, you can see that it's exactly 150 pixels from this section and from this section. You can actually activate that by holding Option or Command, and then you can see the pixels if you hover with your mouse, which is nice. Okay, so now let's add some colors. I'm gonna go to the fill over here, and I'm gonna change the color to pure black, because I want to use pure black on this website. And then you can go on this shape and also put it on black, but there is a trick here which you should know, which is the asset colors. Because for example, black is used in many places in this design, so you want to save that color so you can reuse it later. So now this one is black, then you click on these 4 dots, it's called style, and then you can add this color to the color styles. They call it color styles. Over here it's called asset, color assets in Adobe XD. It's all the same thing, it's global colors. That's what I actually think they should call it. So you click on the plus, and then you give it a name, for example, black. Alright, and you click on create style, and now this one is saved. So if you then click on another shape, instead of just changing the color from here, you can click on the 4 dots again and then select your black, which you can see. A little bit easier. For this one, we don't have to change the color, because in our design, this background is actually soft gray. So if you want to use the same colors as me, you can drag in the files. So I will share these files in the description below, so you can download them. And then you can drag in my colors if you want to, like this, make it a little bit larger. So here are my colors. It's just a screenshot from my Figma actually. And then you can grab the background, so grab your artboard. Now it's set to white, which is F. So you click over here, and now you can click on this tool. You can also access that, by the way, by clicking I. So you click on this one, and then you go over the soft gray, and boom, there you click it. And I also recommend to also add that color to your style. So click on the 4 dots again, call it a soft gray, create style. So where are all these global colors saved? Well, you can access them by clicking outside of your artboards, just not in your design, but outside. And then you can see it over here, local styles, and here are your colors. You can change them afterwards. So let's say that you want to change your black to maybe not 100% black, but a little bit softer. Then as you can see, it changes in your whole design, which of course is awesome. Just put it a little bit lighter like this. And then the last thing that we need to do is create this diagonal shape. That's also really easy to do. You can just click on this shape, then double click it again. And now you can access the individual points. So you can grab this one and put it up like this. Yeah, that's something like our design. All right, and then click outside, double click it, and now we're done. So the basic structure is here. Let's now move to images and icons. So here's the image that we need. So you could drag in the image like this and then mask it like this. But what I like to do is just click on the image over here, and then instead of using a color, use an image as a background. So now this is connected to the global colors. I'm going to disconnect that. Click over here, and then you can select, instead of a solid, you can select an image. And now you can drag your image over here, and then it masks. You even have some very simple editing over here if you want to change the image a little bit. Let's just increase the opacity a bit. That looks pretty cool. And now your image is in here, but it's not in the right position. So if you hold Option or Alt and double click, then you can reposition it like this. Make sure to hold Shift so it scales proportionally, and then put it in the position you want. Just look at our example. This is where I want him to be. But now we have a gap over here. So click outside of it. So what's beautiful about Figma is that you can have multiple layers within a fill. So now we have an image as a layer in a fill, but we can add another layer on top of it. So if you click on the plus, you can add a layer on top of it. So now it's a solid, which is on 20% opacity. So if I increase that, you're not gonna see him. But if we then go to linear, which is a gradient, then we can say like we want to go from black to white. So this left one is on black 100% and this right one is on 0%. It doesn't look like it's on 100% because this layer also has an opacity. So I'm gonna change that to 100, and now you can see that we're almost there. So I'm gonna open my gradient again. I'm just gonna grab this point and just position it over here. So this is pretty cool. As you can see, 2 layers in one shape. We didn't have to group anything, and it's all here on the right. All right, for this image, I'm gonna do the same. So I'm gonna click over here, then go to solid, image, then drag in my image over here, and there she is. We can reposition it again, but I'm fine with this. So now we have 2 images. Let's drag in some icons. So I'm gonna go to my folder. I have 3 SVG icons over here, which are vector icons, and then drag them into your Figma like this. They're not all the same size, and we want them to be smaller anyways. So let's just make one of them. Let's just drag it in over here, and let's just make that one a lot smaller. For this design, I want them to be